This is Convent Comedy. My name is Kate Willett. I live here at the Convent. This is my house. This is the Convent. This is an artist collective in the Lower Haight neighborhood of San Francisco. This is a house where 23 people live. It used to be a convent, actually, from 1934 until the 80s. It's full of artists, musicians, comedians. There's a bunch of painters who live here, all different kinds of things. We have a communal kitchen. We have communal bathrooms. It's very much like a family that lives here. This room is full of comedians and hippies right now. Pretty much like a typical regular day. It's not a commune. We don't share all of our possessions, but it is a collective in the sense that we all, very much participate together. Everybody has an assigned chore. We come together to throw events like this. This is Josh. We hug a lot. That's one thing about moving in here is I felt like my mood increased from getting hugged a lot.
It's a very huggy
very
community.
Natural antidepressant.
This is our confessional.
It's just fun to have a confessional in your house. It's a really great place to make out. That's what happens a lot at parties.
This is the jewel in the crown of the convent. This is our sacred space. The cloister was constructed in the 1890s.
This is my favorite room in the house. During the day, people do yoga in here, meditate, and then oftentimes we have performances in here. I also host a monthly comedy show here. Margaret Cho in here. We did a show together last year about this time, and she loved it so much that she actually ended up subletting at the convent, and it was pretty funny to have my childhood hero smoking pot with my hippie friends, over communal dinner. It was surreal. You get an amazing view of the city.
I'm not actually looking in the viewfinder here. Yeah, I want to find some people who don't know me, just so I can I want to promise them fame and fortune and stuff.
Yeah.
I totally get you.
That's good. That's a good idea.
So you're a really good cameraman,
Thank you.
You make it easy on people being filmed.
Please give it up for Jesse Elias.
Recently, someone knocked on my door, and I answered it, and it was a person holding a clipboard. And I'm like, oh, shit. They're like, hi, are your parents home? I'm like, no, they are not. They're like, okay, bye. Still got it. People are like, are you 20? I'm like, no, I'm 30. I'm just a late bloomer. I look down a lot. People are like, how come you don't look up at people more often? I tell them, because I'm a feminist and I don't want to subject anybody to the male gaze. Actually, the first time I ever saw a picture of a naked woman, I was in first grade, and I'm like, oh, I get it. A vagina is just like a puff of hair. So, and then I saw my dad naked for the first time, and I saw his pubes. I'm like, my dad has a vagina? He has a penis coming out of a vagina? My dad's like, stop laughing, it'll happen to you one day. I'm like, yeah, right, idiot. I drove here from Oakland. So historically, San Francisco and Oakland have had something like a rivalry. The perception is that Oakland thinks San Francisco is elitist, and San Francisco is like, F you, we're not elitist. Now pay $5 to cross our moat.
Matt Leaves is a whore. I thought that we had something special here. I thought that it was important to him, and then I show up to a show and this is happening.
Sorry, babe, I'm a misogynist.
This guy is one of my best friends in comedy. I love him so much. Please give it up for Matt Lieb.
So I've been doing this game, all right, where I've been going on to Google on my phone and messing with the autofill results. You know when you type something in, Google will complete your sentence based on what millions of people have typed in before you? Well, I've been going in and I've been typing in the words, how come? And then reading the autofill results live on stage, because I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a whole subset of people going online and asking, how come? As opposed to, why? And those people got different sets of problems than you and me. The way the game works is I've typed in how come on my phone. I'm going to ask for a letter from the audience, and then I'm going to type that letter in and read you the result that pops up, all right? P. How come in the letter P? Oh, how come people are mean? Under that, how come pickles have no calories? W. How come... What the... How come we don't even talk no more? They're not even specifying. All right, one last one. L. L. All right, how come in the letter L? How come life is so hard? You guys, it's really sad, but you understand that if we were to ask, like, why and the letter L, it would be like, why Lisa Carr? But literally, the second result for how come in the letter L is, how come lice don't drown?
Definitely smells like I'm performing in a hippie commune.
The tech boom here has driven a lot of artists out of the city. There's not a lot of spaces left like this in San Francisco, but there's a long tradition of comedians all living together. These are some roommates.
Roommates in the building.
There's hella roommates. I don't even know sometimes who lives here. My roommates, they're really into like essential oils and conspiracy theories. We got a lot of conspiracy theory guys. You know, the type that likes to get super high and then just connect the dots, man. And they all have their own favorite conspiracy theories. The really popular ones are the 9/11 was an inside job, lunar landing isn't real, or my favorite, girls are trying to change me, man. And it's like, mostly dudes, so you hear talking about conspiracy theories, like you never even really hear a woman mentioning the Illuminati. I think I know why that is. I've thought about it, and I think because it's like, for me, it's not mind-blowing that there could be a group of people other than myself controlling the world. Dude, do you know that the whole world is controlled by a small group of rich and powerful men? I'm just like, yeah, f***ing duh. It's like anybody who's interested in social justice whatsoever is really down on straight white guys right now. And I understand it. They have done a lot of bad things. But I feel like it's time to have some empathy for straight white guys, you know, especially the unsuccessful ones, right? Especially the unsuccessful ones, because it has got to be humiliating to fail in a world that was built for you.
I live just up the street. This is the Lower Haight area. I love hanging out at this house, especially since everything here is a vagina. If you look around, you got a vagina here, you got a vagina over here. Pretty much everywhere you look, very vaginal inclusive.
Please give it up for Jessica Seeley.
What's up, you guys? I am really happy to be here right now with all of you, because I am so lonely. I am kind of going through a bad breakup right now, honestly. It's been about 3 years, but have any of you ever done something kind of psycho during a breakup? No. Oh, you guys are so good. But I did something kind of psycho, which I'll tell you about, which is I masturbated. That's normal. But I recognized that as I was masturbating, I was fantasizing about my ex. Crying at my funeral. Just like crying on my friend's shoulders and being like, I didn't realize how much I loved her and now she's gone. And I was like, I'm dead now. Have any of you ever had an orgasm that's so good that you just like see color and shit? I guess this is the place for it. Oh, man. Okay, here's the thing. I had an orgasm recently that was so intense that as I was coming, I just saw the Chicago Bulls logo. I don't know why that is, but it was pretty awesome. I think all I can make of that is that I had the Michael Jordan of airgasm. It was an airgasm. It was just this. So then I smoked some pot and then watched Space Jam. So it was all good. Shout out to everyone in this house that's hooked me up with whippets before. I just wanted to say, had some really... Thank you very much.
I don't know if you guys have hopes and dreams, but the worst thing you can do with hopes and dreams is talk to people who don't have hopes and dreams. I call them coworkers. I don't like them. I don't like talking to them. Because you tell people, like, hey, man, I've always, I want to be a stand-up comic. They're like, Adrian, why don't you try doing something a little bit more realistic with your life, like being, like, I don't know, like an astronaut or the Pope or Spider-Man. You like Spider-Man, right? Would you try that out? That's a little bit more realistic, And that, like, used to hurt my feelings. I used to get, like, offended by that until I met my new roommate, and we had the same conversation. It's like, Adrian, I'm glad you're in the arts, too, because I've always dreamt of being a professional fire twirler. And I was like, oh, shit, that's what I sound like. That's a f***ing dumb dream, dude. Cut that shit out in our apartment.
The church that this convent was the convent for, it used to be the Church of the Sacred Heart, and now it's a roller disco. And then right next to it is our sister collective. The center was the rectory, and now it's 2 collectives and a roller disco. So it's pretty San Francisco.
These are my notes, and I'm supposed to do like maybe 10 minutes, and this is like years worth of jokes. I'm actually just holding this and staring at it because I think that's like a habitual thing for me at this point. I think it builds up a little anxiety, which gives me kind of energy on stage in a weird way, so I just carry this around. Instead of like a security blanket, it's like an anxiety blanket. I've been looking at this for hours. Before I got here, I was looking at this. Sometimes I feel like when I brush my teeth, I feel like I have to look directly into the sink when I'm brushing my teeth, because I feel like if I look up and make eye contact with myself in the mirror, it gets to be like a little bit too real or something, like too heavy. Like I see my reflection, I see myself, I'm like, oh shit. I'm not immortal. I'm just polishing my bones so people like me while I'm here. Okay.
Hey, the team is very hung up on like credits and like pecking order shit, but like to me, we're all just peers.
Oh, that's not true. It is true. Yeah, okay, it is. Yo, I like that we're wearing the same hoodie, except yours is an adult size. Wait, look at it. How do we just notice
It's the same brand.
We're the same species.
Please give it up for my very good friend, Kasim Bentley.
I'm glad you guys are here in San Francisco, the greatest city in the Bay Area, all right? Not the United States, because we've been to New York. I love San Francisco, but there's some cities in the Bay Area that suck. Like, number 1 on my list, Oakland. Like, you ever been to downtown Oakland at any point of day? Looks like the first 2 minutes of I Am Legend. There's nothing there. It's just dogs running around, animals, burnt up cars, a lonely black guy. You're just like, what am I doing here? But here's the thing, Oakland kills me because they have one group of people that scare the out of me. It's not the thugs, right? No offense, right? It's the lesbians. Because the white ones I can't tell. Like, you could be a lesbian, you're frowning right now. You're like, you're having a bad time. But, like, black lesbians, we all know. The old ones look like LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow. The young ones look like 2 Chainz. And they are all meaner than a BART station agent. I almost got my ass beat by 2 of them at Jacqueline Square. I was with this chick, right? We were both fat, so we on a fat people shopping weekend, right? And we were at Lane Bryant, and you don't know Lane Bryant. That's a clothing store for big ladies where they make the clothes out of parachutes and that kind of shit. And she's there buying like these weird dresses as an animal print, and she puts it on. She looks like a tiger print. Now she looks like a fat tiger. And I said, look, let me get out of here. Let me go to Old Navy. Because I had $100, so I'll buy 9 bags of clothes, right? So I got shit. So I'm going there, and it's Oakland, so it's all these like city of God children stealing your wallet and shit going through. And here comes around the corner 2 black lesbians. Now the one on the left looked like an orange dude black kind of lesbian, or like Manny Fresh looking chick, right? And the other one looked like Queen Latifah. But not old bucket on her head Queen Latifah. We talking like new Queen Latifah, right? She wearing like an Oscar gown, titties all smashed together, they all moving around, look like a bunch of Samoans in a Honda Accord, Like, and I'm staring at them like, like a retarded kid with a word problem, right? And the rough girl saw me, and she's like, hey man, you sitting there standing my bitch. And I was like, oh my God! Because she know I'm a bitch. I dress like this every day like an inner city school principal, you know what I mean? I go to farmers markets, I drink cran apple. I should be living in Berkeley with a white woman with a biracial son named Autumn, you know what I mean? So I'm there. I knew I was gonna die, because this little black boy looked at me and said, nigga, you gonna die, but you know what I mean? So, oh, he's leaving on that, too black for this, huh? I guess some black lives don't matter. That made the cut, right there. And so I was
God. And I'm sitting there, and my mom, but the chick is coming at Lane Bryant, and I'm like, hey, girl, help me. She's like, no, baby, I work for the government. I have a real job, you know what I mean? So I knew I was going to die because her friends were all out there. Everyone had their galaxies out. Someone yelled World Star. I knew I was going to die, man. And then my body spoke to me. My horrible burrito full of French fries looking body spoke to me. And my heart said, Kasim. And I said, what? He said, just run, get away, you know what I mean? I said, what about the girl? F her, dog, you know what I mean? Then my feet told my heart, he cannot run. He is built like a bell pepper, you know what I mean? Then my brain kicked in and said, look, blood, look at the situation. You wearing a pink shirt, a colorful pocket square, a linen jacket, you look gay. They're lesbians at gay, you know what I mean? And I said, what kind of gay? Bravo Channel gay, you know what I mean? Tyler Perry's secret boyfriend gay, you know what I mean? And I did it, and it worked. She came to me and said, look, blood, you sitting there standing by, girl, what do you got to say now? I was like, look, boo-boo, I wasn't even looking at her titties. I was looking at her shoes. Her shoes are hella fierce, you know what I mean? And she's like, oh, and everyone else was like, oh, I thought he was going to die, right? And I got the girl and got the out of there. Hey, I'm Kasim Bailey. Good night. Thanks.
Dude, this Za is sick, bro. Shades indoors. What's up, bro? How you doing?
What's up? I'm great.
Hell yeah. What's up, George Chen? George Chen eating pizza like a boss right now. Look at this, bro. Hell yeah, dude. See what else other people thought about this pizza, bro. See this Troy Boy in the building.
No, ladies. I was doing a show the other night, and there was a sign language interpreter on stage, and it was translating my entire act in the sign language, right? So I'd be telling my jokes, and I would look back, and he'd be back there translating it because I guess there was a bunch of deaf students in the crowd or whatnot. And I thought to myself, I was like, I wonder how do you say the word nigga in sign language? You know? Like, how do you say nigga? I don't know how to say nigga in sign language. I want to learn how to say it, so I decided to say the word nigga over and over again for like 30 seconds, right? Then I'm gonna look back at him, see what sign he was doing, so I can learn how to say it, you know? So when the opportunity aroused, I was like, oh, by the way, nigga, 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 my nigga. I looked back at him and see what sign he was doing, and each time I would say nigga, he'd be pointing at me. Like, nigga, 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 nigga. My nigga. And I went over there and I beat that nigga ass.
I work for TaskRabbit. You guys know TaskRabbit? If you don't know, TaskRabbit is like where Uber and Lyft are for chauffeurs, TaskRabbit is for servants. Yeah. I'll clean your house, I'll wait in line, whatever, man. And like, there's all these different categories you can do like that. I only build IKEA furniture, and I have never been happier. It's great. I love it. I just build IKEA furniture. Although me building IKEA furniture for a living does feel like a sad parody of what's happened to American manufacturing. Other countries build shit 95% of the way, and then send it to me with some cute comic book instructions and an adorable little Allen wrench, like, who says Americans don't build anything? Look at that end table. I think Americans build some things. Yes, they do.
Yeah, that's, I know it's good news.
Oh, nice. Are you a friend of Kate's?
Yeah, basically.
Do you live here?
No.
I really liked watching the pressure built on his face.
Please give it up for Chris John.
I'm balding and I have pimples. I don't know how that's possible. I look like I'm retiring from going through puberty. I'm bald enough to where I can get sunburned on top of my head, but not bald enough to where I can put sunscreen on there without it looking like there's jizz in my hair. Jizz in my hair.
Chris John and Jesse Elias. You guys seem like, I don't know.
Two peas in a
it seems
pot.
like two peas in a pot, exactly.
Yeah, Chris John is kind of like my younger brother who had a harder time in life than me. I love you, man. I was just saying backstage how you are exemplary of how comedy gives a voice to people who the world would never know about otherwise.
Are you talking about Scott or me?
You, Chris.
Yeah, in this case.
Scott would find a way to be the center of attention.
I'd be running a business. I'd be a CEO or something, probably.
Yeah.
I am a sexual beast and you are mine, just a touch of dope. Now I'm the least to women. I am a sexual beast. I'm a sexual beast, I'm gonna walk you around. Tell on the least, I am a sexual beast. I am a sexual beast. I'm looking around. I'm the streets. I am a sexual beast. You are mine, just a sexual. I'm a least one. I'm a sexual beast. I walk you around, down at least. I am sexual beast, yeah. I am a